Hey guys, what's up? It's Joe Rady from Rady's Rides. I'm back at one of my special filming spot locations because guess what? We have something that starts with an S that's very special, and it's this car right here. This is it. This is a 2023 Mercedes Benz S 580. But before we get into this full-size, full-on luxury sedan, let's talk about what's going on here. Mercedes Benz, they really have been doing the business for decades, going back so many generations of their iconic automobiles. Now, of course, over the years, it's been about luxury, but of course, it's also about performance. Now, Mercedes has absorbed AMG, so you'll see a lot of AMG certain treatments that this S580 has, but that means all that great engineering, all the things that AMG learned on the racetrack, they even bring to sedans like this one. Now, surprisingly, you would think sedans would be dead by now, especially with the notoriety and popularity of SUVs, but guess what? The big three German Euro brands are still bringing full-size, full-on luxury sedans. So what I want to find out is, if you're looking for a big one, do you go Audi A8 or do you go Mercedes Benz S 580? And of course, when I say A8, we're talking about the sportier version known as the S8. So let's go ahead, let's dive into this signature China blue S580 and find out. Right off the bat, the color. I'm absolutely loving it. I really feel like it fits the style and the panache of the S-Class, especially when it seems that everybody and their mother has a black Mercedes, a white Mercedes, or a silver one. At the front of the business, you're gonna see that great style and attention to detail, not only within the headlight housing, but the headlights themselves. Full LED headlights, daytime running lamp, and as you can see, turn signal. Working your way down, we do have functionality in the corner vents. A little bit of gloss black. I like the way they did this darker chrome finish, and the way it kind of loops around gives it that nice aggressive style without being too over the top, especially the way that they bring the trim along the bottom splitter. Now, as we come across that iconic hood ornament, which we'll get to in a second, you'll notice on the S-Class, you do have these horizontal, shinier finish on the bars with some gloss black. I'm gonna have to zonk this radar panel. All the technology behind it, it kind of just kills the front look. You do have a forward-facing camera, which is nice. And then up top, there it is. The silver star, the silver arrows, that is all about the history of this iconic German brand. And it's the only Mercedes, really, that has a hood ornament. So nice to see them keep with that detail. On the lower portion, I like the way they sculpted the lower grille area. You do have that gloss black grille, just like on the corner vents. You have a higher splitter and then the main splitter along the bottom that runs the whole length from passenger side to driver's side. But definitely you can see the size of this sedan. Now when we rise up, hood ornament's looking good. One of the things I wish it did is drop down into the hood like the Spirit of Ecstasy from Rolls-Royce, because somebody could come and take this and you're never gonna see it again until you see them wearing it around their neck on a necklace. So not my favorite touch that they just have it exposed, but you'll see hood nice and wide to match up proportionately with the wide overall size of this vehicle, and very clean, very nice soft bends. Now as we come around the bend, what are we focusing on? Wheel and tire step. So you're gonna get these ginormous 21-inch wheels, V-spoke design all the way around, machined aluminum. You got the Mercedes-Benz logo, and then you'll also notice those titanium gray, massive calipers with the Mercedes-Benz name on them. Rotors are over 15 inches in diameter, cross-drilled, and then of course you're gonna have that active suspension air ride system. So you have air ride, adaptive suspension. It's the touches. I love the way they took your side marker light and gave it that nice bend to flow into the body line. Of course, with the way they have the side of the headlight housing there, you can even see the name Mercedes-Benz inside on the actual portions of the headlight. But let me know how you feel about these wheels. Now, we do have 4MATIC all-wheel drive, rear-wheel drive base, power going to the front wheels to give us that all-wheel drive. And if you're wondering, what do we have up front? 255 on the width, 35 series sidewall. Coming down the side, I do like the way there's nothing on the fender, nothing stuck on, not a badge or anything like that. You have the dark chrome finish along the bottom. My only zonk about that is that there's other finishes like the hood ornament, the portions of the grille, and on the door handles here, that is the shiny chrome finish. That to me doesn't make sense. So I am gonna zonk that, but I do like your power folding mirrors, gloss black, LED lighting, you got your 360-degree camera. And then instead of having shiny chrome, you have the dark, almost gloss black touches, both top and bottom. You'll notice we have a ginormous panoramic sunroof. I just wish that they would black out the whole roof. You see back here, I see China blue, which is a pretty color. I would just like to see this blacked out on the back like they did in front of the panoramic glass roof. Now, I have the key fob in my hand because I want to showcase how the handles pop out. See? Unlocked, locked. I love the way when you're driving, they're nice and flush. Working our way towards the rear. Like I said, you're still gonna get those great looking wheels, 21-inch. And one thing I forgot to point out, they are AMG spec. So it's an AMG spec wheel, looking good. Obviously Pirelli tires give you some performance, give you some grip, and we have rear wheel steer. That alone is worth the price of admission because it allows this big sedan to turn on a dime. And then when we come around the rear end, classic Mercedes Benz style. You got your 4MATIC badge. That means we have the all-wheel drive like I pointed out. I like the way they did this rose colored on the taillights, full LED of course. You do have shiny bright metalwork on the badges, on the trim. I wish it was dark chrome. And then working our way down, we have real exhaust. You do have your stainless steel trim ring, some dark chrome finish, and then as we come across the center portion here, you'll notice that rear diffuser area. But why don't we go ahead, let's pop the hood and see what is making this S580 zoom down the road. All right, guys, we got the hood popped. You do have the massive hood open with those hood struts. Underneath the hood, just like on a lot of luxury cars, you are gonna get a lot of plastic, but the plastic engine cover is tasteful, especially with that silver arrow there, that silver star shining brightly on the top with the Mercedes Benz logo. Now, what are we actually looking at? You're looking at a 4-liter twin turbo V8 pumping out 496 horsepower, 516 pound-feet of torque. It is bolted to a 9-speed automatic with all-wheel drive and rear-wheel steer. So 0 to 60 in about 3.7 seconds. Top speed is governed to 129 miles per hour, which is kind of bizarre. Like, why not just make it 130? I think technically 150 would be acceptable, but it's 129. What do I know? MPGs, 16 in the city, 25 on the highway. And then the vehicle does weigh a tick under 5,000 pounds, reining in at 4,992 pounds. So very interesting when it comes to the style of this Mercedes-Benz, but also the engine power plant compared to the Audi S8. Why don't we go ahead though? Let's fire this up and see it roll. All right, guys, we are inside this 2023 Mercedes Benz S580. S-Class has always been that top premium that people aspire to own, and this definitely is no different than from the past. Now, I know you're saying to yourself, well, Joe, so far I am loving this Mercedes S580. How much is it? Very good question. When you step up to this type of car, I hope you came ready to play, because MSRP, the way that this one is optioned, is $157,000. Let's see what Mercedes is bringing for the money to the door panels. I love the leather up top, the white contrast stitching. Look at the ambient lighting. It goes from teal to blue to purple. Very, very cool with the lighting. You do have heated seats, ventilated seats there in the center with your usual Mercedes Benz seat controls. And then going to the tweeter up top, not only are you getting that Burmester premium sound system, but watch this. I go ahead and shut the radio down. Look at how it spins and drops into the aluminum finish there. Those are the touches you're getting. Going down to the center, the two-tone, the white diamond contrast stitching. More ambient lighting, but the bad news is there's a lot of gloss black. So that definitely is a zonk by the controls. Love the aluminum speaker grill covers. Every single one of them is aluminum. And then you have a nice large door pocket to where you'll be able to get that classic Subway footlong with caviar all over it. Caviar and Grey Poupon. Sign Steven up, that's his favorite. Now going from the door panel to the dash, more of that ambient lighting. And what's great is if you were one of those kids that was jelly of the other kids in elementary school that had the box of Crayola crayons, the big one with 64 colors and a sharpener in the back, well, guess what? While they're driving their Yugo, you are living large with your rolling Crayola crayon box of colors. All that ambient lighting, I love the pinstriping. Very, very elegant, like a suit. Even the way they did the AC vents. The attention to detail is ridiculous. You'll notice down below, you have, of course, your cargo net for 3 Twinkies down here. And then I love the way they did the quadruple. 1, 2, 3, 4 AC vents up top. And then working our way down, you have your portrait style 13-inch infotainment system screen. I'm not a big fan of the portrait style, but it works a little bit better in this Mercedes than some of the other vehicles. Of course, very quick reaction. You could get all your different info, vehicle info. There's your car with the adaptive suspension, even the engine data when you're going on throttle. And then of course you could hit dynamic. You got your different modes, including intelligent, where you could set it up perfectly for whatever you want. You got your dual climate control. The thing is, everything is within the infotainment system. So after a day of operating this vehicle, it's going to look like somebody had the greasiest fingers and smeared it all over your infotainment system. On the back side, you'll notice they have a little cubby for a couple payday bars. So on the back side here, behind the portrait style. So that's the nice thing about how it's set up. Lots of gloss black here, not my favorite, but the good news is you open this door, look at what we got. Wireless charging, 2 cup holders. This little guy here, this is going to be your Mentos holder or Tic Tac holder when you get bad breath. USB-C's in there. Whoop, look at that. The leather, Napa leather, soft, bombs away. You got 2 more USB-C's, and that's where you could keep your family jewels. So if you don't want to scratch your family jewels, if you're that type of person, you could put them in here. There's plenty of felt lining. Or you could put the Hope Diamond, the diamond from the movie Titanic. If you went and got it, you could keep it in here and it's not going to get scratched. The seats, you have this microfiber little head pillow, and then the leather, the diamond stitching, the bolstering, everything is adjustable through the infotainment system. 20 different ways from Sunday. Microfiber suede material up top. And then of course you have this huge split panoramic sunroof. So nice to have that option to let the sunlight in, let people see you while you're eating your caviar Subway sandwich. But once you get your butt over here, I want to show you the 12 inches of luxury I have ready for you behind the wheel on this S580. All right, guys, business time behind the wheel. You do have 3 memory seat settings, just like on the passenger side. I love the way you're going to be greeted by the Mercedes Benz logo, white LED with the nice aluminum finish, even on the interior of the sill. And then look at the pedal box. Aluminum brake pedal, aluminum throttle. My one zonk is, what's up with the carpeted dead pedal? That to me is freaking stupid. That should be aluminum. That's a zonk, but you do have the AMG floor mats. That's worth an extra 5 horsepower. Now the reason why Mercedes likes to put the seat controls on the door is that it actually gives you a wider seat because you don't have the controls here. So that's why they do that. And some other brands are copying that. I'm 6 feet tall and I feel like I'm wrapped in a luxurious blanket. steering wheel, the leather, you got the gloss black, which is going to show the fingerprints. You got your stitching on that horn button. You have paddles behind the wheel to go up and down the 9-speed automatic, and it is an electric tilting and telescoping steering wheel. And then I promised you 12 inches. Guess what? Put on your 3D glasses, because that's a 12.3-inch 3D digital gauge cluster. Really clear with the graphics. You could change it 20 different ways from Sunday. The one thing that's surprising is there's no head-up display in here. I guess because if you have 3D, who needs a head-up display? But why don't we go ahead, let's get into the back seat and see how the wealthy live large and in charge in this S580. All right, guys, back seat time, and I'm telling you right now, if you think to yourself that a Honda Accord is a full-size sedan, think again. This is a full-size sedan. I have more room than what first class has on an airline. Tons of space up top. Look at the center speaker with the ambient lighting, aluminum. This is going to give you, you're going to feel like you're sitting on the lap of your favorite singer. So if Taylor Swift is your favorite singer, you're going to feel like either you're sitting on her lap or she's sitting on your lap, one or the other. You'll notice in the frame we have the AC vents. I like to see the extra AC vents. Love the way they brought the pinstriping, the red ambient lighting in the back. You have enough room here where you could put your $1,000 bills that you freshly made at home. Put those back here. You got more AC vents, a little place for another Twinkie. Open this guy, USB-Cs, close it up. Heated seats, ventilated seats, the whole shabam. And these are luxury chauffeur seats, same Napa leather. And then watch this. Boop. More of that soft leather stitching. You got a place here where you can keep your marble collection. If you lose your marbles, this is a good place to keep them. Open it up, 2 USB-Cs, and you could keep a 1-pound bag of Skittles back here. But be careful, they're saying that the red color now will hurt you again. Once upon a time, they got rid of red M&Ms because supposedly they cause cancer. Then they brought them back. Well, now they're saying that it causes cancer again. So what do we do? I don't know. Keep going on throttle. That's what I say. But I love feeling comfy back here. Let's go ahead, though. Let's get into the trunk, because if you're traveling the world, you're probably going to be bringing some baggage with you. Let's get back there and check it out. All right, guys, time to get in the trunk. Hit the button right underneath the Mercedes Benz logo. Opens up very smooth, very quick. It has a very low cargo floor, but it is 14 cubic feet of space. The problem is you can't fold down the rear seats. You do have a rear seat pass-through, but you can't fold down the rear seats because you're high luxury with those chauffeur seats. You do have your subwoofer from that amazing sound system. And then you do have, of course, your area, and I put in a black bag for your box of luxurious Twinkies. What makes a luxurious Twinkie? Believe it or not, it has edible gold flake in it. True story. But why don't we go ahead? Boop. If you're ready, that thing better close. If you're ready, I'm ready. Let's see how the 1%ers live. Let's go ahead and go on throttle in this S580. All right, guys, we're inside this 2023 Mercedes Benz S580. Right away, you are gonna find out what it's like to live in the lap of luxury, because I feel like I'm freaking sitting in it. It does an amazing job of closing out the outside world. If you don't want to feel any road, any wind noise, any vibration, the S580 takes it to a whole new level. Now, what I love is getting to the portrait style infotainment system, well within reach. You got a nice little Mercedes S580 sitting there. Glad that they kept all the usual icons and apps. We can go into comfort, and that's going to allow us to have massage seating for both the passenger and the driver. Lots of different options here. I mean, look at this. Your car has 2 settings. This thing has like 18 settings. And then, of course, you could go into the ambient light and change it every which way from Sunday. But going down the road, why don't we go ahead? We got a little fire truck action. Never a dull moment here on Rady's Rides. We're going to let that fire truck drop out of the way. I got the performance gauges up. You ready? On throttle. Here we go. Nice. With the rear wheel steer, this 5,000-pound behemoth dances on its twinkle toes. Rear wheel steer is magical on these cars because not only does it help when you're in a parking lot situation or making a tight U-turn, on a curvy road, these things are crazy with how good they turn and the feedback that you're getting. Seeing the digital gauge cluster with the 3D style gauges, a very, very nice touch, something you don't see a lot. And then of course, nobody's behind us, so remember, performance gauges here. Are you ready? On throttle, here we go. Smooth shift from that 9-speed automatic, really does the business well. And then of course, you have those ginormous brake calipers and rotors that are gonna shed speed faster than a German Shepherd sheds hair. Guaranteed. That's in the writing of a window sticker of a Mercedes Benz. But very, very smooth. But when you want to turn up the wick, you have full capability. All of the finishes in here, you're sitting in the lap of luxury. Now, I'll be honest, I'm happy it's not super sunny, but I'm also sad it's not super sunny. No, not because I have seasonal affective disorder. It's because I want to see what all this gloss black looks like when the sun is coming through the windshield. Now, the good news is the front windshield and the rear glass are polarized. So that's going to obviously help with some of that, but still, it's a lot of gloss black in here, and it shows the dust, it shows the fingerprints. You're gonna get, on top of that, all of the great safety technology, which, remember, Mercedes Benz did a lot of the development in things like blind spot monitoring, cross traffic alert, all those types of things, and you have adaptive cruise as well. But really wonderful to be getting a massage, all that great ambient lighting with the different colors. And then of course you have this. What is that? On throttle, here we go. Rain, rain, go away. We need to do some on throttle and play, that's for sure. But it's nice because you do hear the V8, so you are getting some of that sound. It's just not a lot. I mean, let's just be honest. And that's not what this car is about. It's not an AMG spec S580. Even with the rear wheel steer and even with almost 500 horsepower. But the shifts are buttery smooth. And I just love seeing that Mercedes hood ornament. It's crazy to think about. Once upon a time, I remember when I was a kid, so many cars had hood ornaments. Oldsmobile, Buick. Now, really nobody does. But it's nice to see that on this particular iconic S580. The S-Class, like I said, I remember as a kid, you saw one and you were just blown away. You were just blown away. But the way they did the trim, obviously all the room for the backseat passengers, this is that ultimate chauffeuring capability that you're going to provide to whoever's sitting back there. All right, guys, time to do some luxury cruising down the highway, and this is where the S580 just comes alive. I mean, it's so smooth, it's so capable, it's so luxurious. It's ridiculous just what they're able to do with this vehicle. It almost gets to the point where if you're not fully prepared to be shut out from the outside world sitting inside this vehicle, it almost feels a little weird. You feel out of place. But the great news is that I like to show it all, and I think that it does give a little bit of balance, at least when you're going full on throttle. Other than that, it is, to my taste, a little too smooth. But I guess I'm just a simpler kind of person. I want to feel. I don't want things like just covered up. But like I said, getting to everything nice and smooth. The controls, the visibility, and everything else. You can see we're going up over the ripped up asphalt, and it's like it's not even there. It's amazing. Even on 21-inch wheels with those low profile tires. But I'm hoping that this has been that living large, lap of luxury lifestyles of the rich and famous review. Hopefully the rain goes away because we got more to do here on Rady's Rides. But if you're ready, I'm ready. I'm gonna wrap this up in a money minute. All right, guys, it's been a nice, great Poupon, high class, high luxury kind of day with this Mercedes Benz S580. Of course, we need to thank everybody at Mercedes Benz USA for getting us access to this signature China Blue S580. Let me know what you think. Is this the best recipe to have the style, to have the luxury, to have the performance over an Audi S8? Let me know down in that comment section. But if you're new to the channel, you're on your way out, hit that subscribe button. I promise you it's worthwhile. Come back for more. If you are a subscriber, thank you for being part of the Raised Rise family. Of course, we thank Stephen Flood Photography. He actually ate his favorite breakfast this morning, Wheaties, because it is the breakfast of champions, and he is feeling like the champion that he deserves to feel like. So thank you, Stephen, for your hard work. And just like always, guys, I'll see you on the next ride.